If you think I'm here to play around with y'all, god damn it, I'm not.
All right, Mr. O'Neill.
Yeah, man. I'm back at it like a crack addict. Ain't no schedule around this bitch. We public access TV around here, so I'm just doing whatever and whenever. Today we're gonna go back over an older video. I uploaded this one like around back in March. And I added no context whatsoever to that motherfucker, so we're gonna talk about it a little bit. Just as some preamble as per usual. This sparring session was a couple days after I did that punch refinement shit, where I was talking about the concepts of baseball hitting and how they pertain to refining punch form in boxing. And this was a few days after that. And also, as like some additional pretext, I was overtrained like a motherfucker on the sparring session. This is I was burnt like hell. I couldn't do shit else. This is about to be like 10 rounds of some sparring, and I didn't start sweating until like around round 5 or 6. I was fried. So this is gonna be a interesting watch though, because alongside me doing the punch refinement, I was playing with some disengagement traps and setting up some jab traps off of the half-step jab specifically. So we're gonna specifically highlight the traps I was trying to set off the half-step and some of the little disengagement traps, so this is what we got today, man. Ain't no schedule around this bitch, so we just go on until we go. Yeah, bro, I remember exactly how I felt. I felt dry. I felt dry and like fucking beef jerky. All right. So I wanted to utilize this first round to try to get in some type of rhythm. I'm starting to try to set the rhythm of that half-step jab early from mid-range to outside, and even just use the half-step itself without the jab occasionally as a feint. Just trying to build a rhythm of that half-step in general, almost kind of like a little metronome. You're going to hear or see that foot in your peripheral. And so often I did like a small little step in there to inch in, a little double half-step feint. Half-step jab, small little level change. Control the glove, step back. Don't mind that albino. Half-step jab, control the glove. Try to catch him with the right hand to make him get the fuck off me while I'm trying to get into a rhythm here with this half-step setup. Probe, half-step feint. Little double jab, both half-step jabs. Staying in a fixed guard here, kind of staying in a half guard / long guard here. Another little half-step probe more so right here. Stepped over to stay in front of him. I'm just trying to stay just outside of range. He's trying to time me with these pesky little low kicks, but I ain't worried about it too much. It's more so because he can't get into rhythm, because alongside with me disrupting him with the probes and the half-step jabs, the half-step feints is making him second guess himself. Threw a little 2-3 right there off of that. But I want to really place that in his mind. He's going to always be thinking about that half-step, and he can't ever ignore just a naked half-step, because the second he starts ignoring it, then I'm going to start adding a half-step jab back in, and then start trying to add the cross in there. Actually, I think I remember what the fuck I was just doing right there in between the rounds. I was about to try a maneuver I had seen in a local pro fight in one of the bare knuckle boxing matches that they had with a pro fighter that fought this local MMA fighter, and he beat the shit out of him. I think it was like a frame. It was a lead frame into a 4 to the body. I think I tried it just fucking around this round. But I'm back on the half-step setup, doing small little disengagement steps here. Setting the rhythm off the half-step. Trying to get... I want to be like just at or just outside of mid-range with this. Little head slot change, come right back with the jab. See, as you can see, I don't care if it's not making contact. Like, I don't need these to make contact. I need it to disrupt him. He can't get into a rhythm at all. It's constantly making him reset. It's constantly making him disengage. Just a threat of this half step, just a threat of this half step jab, and just a threat of the half step itself. You can build this type of rhythm with anything. I'm just specifically doing this with the half step though. See, I'm trying to disguise some 1-2s off that half step as well. Because eventually, once you kind of develop a rhythm of these half step feints and the half step jab, you can start to mix in some 1-2s. Because once they become blind to it, which they will, because eventually they'll start to not care about the fucking half step, thinking, okay, he's just stepping. Or they'll say, oh, it's just a jab, I can eat that. That's when you start to add harder shit off of it. That's what you want. You want them to think it's a nothing burger. See, trying to do this bullshit pressure with this inactive high guard. So now I'm kind of trying to set a disengagement trap. Tried to go for a 1-2-1 right there. Ducked under the return. Controlling my distance here. Going to the left. Going back right. Trying to put up some punch traffic to deny him that. Need to disengage here. So I go into some circle steps to the right. This is my stand your ground position. When I go into my like high hands like that, which is a specific guard to where it's kind of like when you see in the wild where an animal chooses to make a stand. When I put up, you have to make a decision at certain points as to where like how much ground are you going to give. And that guard kind of lets them know that I'm not going to take another fucking step back. I'm going to look to parry. Yeah, that's when I tried to do that fucking high frame into the 4. But to finish that thought, when you go into that high hand position, that's me trying to let the opposition know I'm not going to take another step back. So you either going to run into me or you going to run into some shit yourself. Because I'm just going to parry it and come over the top of it with either hand. And I want you to go to the body, consider my hands will be that high in that specific disposition. Because if you go low, then I can send something underneath to run you into that as well. But I'm not taking another step back. That's what that disposition is for. When you choose to go into like a high long guard where you raise your hands up high, almost like on some Usyk shit, it's no different than like how small animals try to make themselves be perceived as big so they can be left the fuck alone. It's the same concept. We animals as well. These little psychological tactics will sow seeds of doubt. And you need every little thing you can get. Everything is a tactical advantage. All right, so we're right back at it. I'm trying to go back into this rhythm here. Tried to go for a 2-1 right there. Playing with the disengagement off the half step. Half step, disengagement step. He tried to come with a counter jab. I pulled. Probing. No. See, right there. That's my stand your ground. I'm not taking another step back. I'm either parrying or I'm countering immediately, but you gonna move the fuck back. I'm either gonna parry and counter, straight up defend some shit, or feint at you and make you move back. But I'm not. Sometimes you have to go into that disposition to say, bitch, you move back. I'm not moving. Frozen with some half step feints so I could step around a little bit. Went to a little around the ring right there. Probing jabs. Probing just outside of range. I don't really like this position I'm in right here. So I'm trying to put something with some authority in his face. I'm trying to disengage. He's trying to stay in front of me and pressure me to the wall right here. I don't like it. Standing my ground. So somebody got to make a decision here. You're going to get the fuck off of me. Decide I'm going to have to be defensive for a minute and probe. He's trying to get inside. I try to pummel to get that inside position. Changing head slots. I got some overhooks. I can't really see the other arm. He tried to pull out, so I held on to the arm to stay stuck to him and throw some other shots. Because if you latch on to me, I'm not just going to let you go just because you want to let go now. I'm going to hold on to you and make you fight here a little bit. so I can get some advantages in that position. Back to probing, half step again, half step and disengage. That was like the whole setup I was trying to go for. Half step, disengage, because want to use the least amount of fucking energy. Tried to go for the 1-2, but I didn't step in, which is why I didn't land, because I have midget arms. Went to a high guard for a moment while I'm trying to disengage. That time I did step in while he put up that inactive high guard, which made him take a step back and break his own base. Put up a lead shield with a control on the glove while I was exiting out. Back to the half step. Yeah, see, this was when I was first kind of really messing with that half step extensively. That's why I wasn't stepping in on the 1-2s, kind of like how I do now. I'm a lot more comfortable with fully committing from like that half step jab to a full step in 1-2 now. A level change, probing and feinting with the half step. Half step feint, switch guards for a second, right back to a little level change. Making them second guess everything. This shit ain't a free ride, bro. Yeah, I still wasn't sweating by this point. Was I? I think. Yeah, it took me about 3 to 5 rounds to start fucking sweating. I think this was around when I started sweating. It was something like 3 to 5 rounds. That's when you know you burnt. When you are not sweating and it's not beating up either. It takes a long time for it to get going. Small little baby level changes here. Playing with the level changes. Probe. I know I'm right there at mid-range now. Probe and level change. Back with the half step. Tried to get him with the 6. He was able to pull. If I would have came back with a swivel off that 6, it would have landed. Looking back on this. Still with the half step feints. He doesn't have an answer for it. He put out some controls there, a little long guard. Oh yeah, I tried to play with the stir in the pot right there. I remember I took that deep breath because that shit is tiring. Because you can build a rhythm with that going clockwise and counterclockwise, specifically in the open stance. If you go counterclockwise, you can stir underneath their hand and come around with a hook. If you stir clockwise, you can sneak into a control or sneak into a 1-2 down the middle. Right here, standing your ground, because I don't want to go any further back into the corner. Play with the cross guard right there to defend that little 1-2-1 he threw. Single mid-range jab. Little half-step feint. Oh yeah, I kicked out his lead foot to break his base and throw that cross so I can get off. He got that cross over the top of my cross guard right there. Little lead cross right there. Probing, showing him the cross. Deflected that with sling. I decides he needs to back the fuck off now. Drop hand feint. Half step jab. His 1-2 just misses. No step jab. Half full step jab. I say high guard. Switch guards for a second. Double jab. Inside pivot. Stab. Probing high. Throws a feint. I did a back leg half step so I can stay in range. Probe. Then 1 step and jab. Level change. Double jab right back. Lead cross. 2 step feints. Single mid-range jab. Lead cross. 2 step feints. Tried to come with the 1-2. Circle jab. Pin cross. Step back left. Disengage. Jab. Switching guards. Half step feint. Drop hand feint. 2 jabs. 1-2. Circle. Direction change feint. I like that round. Yeah, I really enjoyed that round. It's always fun going back on these shits, man. It's always fun and giving a play-by-play. It's better than just me being lazy and throwing up these fucking videos. So I'm gonna try to do this for all of them and make use of these videos, whether it be a narrated sparring or bag work, or turn some of those other videos that are sparrings and show you some of the specific drills and shit I can turn them into. So I'm gonna make the most of all this shit. Right back to it. He's going with this inactive high guard shit. I realized that he's trying to set a high guard trap, a bootleg high guard trap. Them feints made him second guess himself and broke up that fucking high guard trap. Probing, he went to my body right there. So I decided I'm gonna press him a little bit, try to go for a front step shuffle 4. He disengaged. Take a walk left, tried to get him back right. Stepping right, getting out of range of that 1-2. Probe. Circle step left. Double jab. Try to go for a 1-2. Ducked under the 2. Jab, half step jab, half step feint. Made him get the fuck back some. See, now he's doing all this fuckery with his feet. This little rhythm step and shit. Controlling the glove, stepping right. Small baby level change feint. Going for a walk to my right. Tried to throw right hand. I couldn't tell. Remember if that landed. That jab landed clean though. I remember that. Right there in mid-range. Tried to leave with the cross there. He jumped all the way back. Tightening up my guard here, knowing I'm right there at it. I know he's fucking around with this inactive high guard. Split him up with that jab. He decided it wasn't worth it right there. A little bit of long guard to get out of the way of that body shot. In my half guard here, keeping it tight, trying to control the glove. Did a 2-5 right there, I believe. Control the glove, little cross catch so I can avoid that right there. Went square to try to circle out. He's staying in front of me. Probe. Level change. Stand my ground. Back to a half guard. Lead 2. Jab. Small little feints. Little duck. Lead 2. Probing with the jab. Half step feints. 1-2 with no step in. Lead elbow flip. Long guard deflected right there with some punch traffic. A little bit of stir your pot and some Rigo. 3-2, 2-3. 2-3, 3-2. Use his defensive reaction to get out of that corner. He's trying to press to put me in this corner. Staying defensively aware. Getting underneath that. Tried to come with a counter right hook. This is why I was saying in the defensive systems check video, bro. Feints are defensive. Feints will make a motherfucker hesitate and getting their offense off to give you more time to think about making a read of what he's going to throw after that. So don't ever think of feints as like purely offensive, bro. That will really be an error on your part. Feints is defensive, bro. Feints is a multi-purpose tool. Think of them bitches like you Letterman. Probing, disengaging, half step jab, disengagement steps, half step feint, step left. Now he's choosing to disengage. He feels like he figured out the half steps. I don't care. He really hasn't. Probing is an active high guard, small disengagement steps, long guard right here. Probing, level change, hip feint, half step feint. He couldn't understand which one to read, so he disengaged. Jab high, jab low, jab back high. Fucked his base all up because he couldn't really anticipate which one to try to actually commit to defense on. Half step feint and hook feint. Probe high. Tried to mix in a 2 in there and follow up with a 3. Disengagement step. Half step. Probe. Half step jab, probe, Control the rear glove, inside pivot. Took a peek, another inside pivot, taking a peek. Probe, high hand, control the glove to try to pivot out. He tried to go for a body shot, and I went for some punch traffic there. Jab. He's unsure of advancing because the feints have him second guessing, especially at the half steps, because now he doesn't know what the hell is going to come off of the half step. Jab, step back, half step feint, jab. He's just sitting here and is in an active high guard. 2 half step feints, get control of the guard. I'll say 2, 3. He's pursuing, stop, little lateral traps here with some jabs and some crosses. He's too close. Nice lead cross right there. He's trying to come inside, little 6, get some overhooks while he's pressing with that. Try to go for a 6-3 to the body, lead cross, splitting in active high guard, probe, try to pick apart the high guard. And this is when he uses that as a break because he got his fucking dread knocked loose. He'll be alright though. Let's keep this shit going. Probe, half step feint, probe, half step feint, head slot change. Once again, couldn't read it, make him break his base. Half step feint, 1 jab right, control left, tried to go for the hook off the inside pivot. Long guard, probe, a little bit of stir in the pot. 2 step feints, rear hand feint, stab. Stay in front of him, and that's that round. Yeah, you see just all them little nuances just off of the half step alone, bro. You can do a whole lot with this shit. I don't even know what round we're on. I'm just kind of in the zone, calling the action as it goes. Calling the shit as it goes live is always fun. And explaining some of the shit. By this point, I know I got him under the spell of these half steps and these disengagement traps. And he's just going to try to up the pace or up the pressure, like that's going to do anything to me. As long as I know that these half steps have you hesitating, I can do whatever I want with them. So now I can kind of cruise control even in this overtrained state. I can cruise control at this and make you dance to my tune because you don't believe in what's going to come off these half steps now. You have no idea as to what's going to come off these shits. Jab, level change, tried to go for a jab trap there to slip to the outside. Just taking a peek. Half step jab, punch traffic, parry to the 4. He blocked that. Trying to stay in front of him. Jab, cross, little containment shots. Trying to stay in front of him. Drop hand feint. Half step feint. Hook feint. Head slot change to the C slot. Probe, 1, 2. Probe and just outside the range just to corral him. Letting them know I want you to stay over here. A little bit of active hands. Now I'm back to disengaging because I'm not trying to work too hard. I'm perfectly fine just picking them apart with some of these half-step setups and these disengagement traps. Showing them the cross on some Rigo shit. Yeah, well, I show him the punches and change the pace on him. Half-step feint, drop hand feint. As you can see, that breaks his base. See, now he feels like he's figured it out. Say, you can hit me with this trap a couple times. I'm not falling for it. Okay, that's cool. Probe, level change. Just because motherfuckers say they figured it out don't mean I'm just like, you're going to have to show me. You're going to have to show me that it doesn't work anymore. Don't believe a motherfucker. A motherfucker a lie. Fighters are liars. We have to be because it's the nature of the game. Probe, level change. Pulled back from that cross. Jab. Jab high, went to the hook to the body off of that. Probe and jab, disengagement step, stepping left to stay in front of him, probe, lead cross, stab, high guard, back to half guard, jab, check step, disengagement step, probe with the jab, He coming with this bullshit and active high guard again like it means something. Lead cross. 4. Duck underneath his return fire. Check step. Being defensive right here, trying to stay sharp. 3-2. Half step. Pull from that. Yeah, man, once you get a man to fall under that singular trap, it like he's going to have to show you. But that's what I mean. Like, you can create a system. I just created a system off of the half step jab and the half step. You know, I could just use the half step itself. I could use the half step jab. I can probe off the half step. I can throw a cross off the half step. You know, I can step in and throw a full step in 1-2 off the half step. You can do all types of shit. Probe. Stir the pot. Okay, yeah, I'm playing with I'm trying to pester him with probe and jabs now. Yeah, I'm more comfortable trying something else at this point and then returning back to these half steps. I'm playing around a little bit. Half guard, jab up the middle, half step, drop hand, half step feint, high guard, then half step feint, circle jab right, step right, step right, circle jab up and to him to get the inside pivot and another double jab. Stand in front of him. Probe. 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 He's trying to freeze. He's going to be a second too late to respond. I'm not worried about that shit. Half step feint on his lateral disengage to make him use more energy. Lead cross. I think that was an elbow flip lead cross. Probe. This is where he said, oh, I done fell for that disengagement trap this many times. I'm not going for it this time. Okay, let's find out. Because the second you get tagged by something while I'm pursuing you on the front foot, you're going to come right back to walking towards me. So I don't care. I'm perfectly fine initiating offense at this pace because you still singing to my tune of the half steps. Just because you ain't going for the half step disengagement trap don't mean you done figured out the half steps. Try to get a control to get a body shot right there to the little disengage. Head slot change, C slot. Level change, long guard, punch traffic. High hands. Nice body shot right there. Stay in front of him. Drop hand. Try to go for a counter hook. Probe. Punching up the middle. Drew my cross. Did a 2-5-2 right there because he was trying to slip my cross. So it's like slipped his 5 up the middle. Probe. Stand my ground. Cross. Rear hand feint. Rear hand feint. Circle rhythm. Trying to get some ground here with these feints. Walking left. The feints and overwhelmed him. He didn't want to initiate offense, so he disengaged. Lazy cross, disengage from that control. High hand, jab. Tried to go for a 1-6 with no step in. Thought he was coming to me, didn't land. Sloppy 1-2-1 he tried to throw right there. I tried to catch him on the return. 3-2, half step feint, and that's that round. Yeah, we just stomping through this shit. I have no idea what round we're on. I lost track just talking about the shit. I know it's 10 even though. That's the only thing I know for sure. Did I mention my shoes wasn't even tied? I just threw them bitches on. That's when I started doing that. Alright. Right back to it. Probing. Stepping left. Few circle steps to my left. Cross catch to a hook. Elbow flip. Jab. Step left. Control the glove. Trying to draw out that right hand. He sends it to the body to be safe. That's smart of him. Half step feint, head slot change, jab. check step to get out the way of that, another check step. Controlling while going to my left, probe, jab, little inside turn there, lead cross, controlling that rear glove, high guard, pull out of it, long guard, probe, changing my guard again, cross in the middle, probe, staying tight. He's trying to get controls on me, changing head slots a little bit, stepping to him, level change. He mirrored the level change, so I did with a half step to make him retreat. 1, 2. Stutter step into a hook, didn't touch nothing. Disengage, circle step to my left, walk to the left, elbow flip, switch guards again, switch guards again. Punch traffic, deflected that. Jab, duck under that right hand, act like I'm trying to disengage that way, come back the other way. High guard, came with a lead hand, cross feints off the half step, make him step back. Half step jab, double jab, get the fuck off me. Back in center space, long guard, probe low, into a rhythm, that barely touch, probe, tried to go to the body, deflected. He cross step, check step the other way, wasn't able to react in time, got out of that corner. Probe, level change, baby cross, baby level change, step feint, made a rhythm step, pulled away from that cross, jab and return. Control, tried to do a circle jab, cross off, didn't land. Disengage, walked him into a jab, went for a stab, cross to the body. Remember when he said he wasn't going to fall for the disengagement traps no more? I wonder what happened. Lateral disengage left, juke back right. Try to get him to break his base, follow me. Jab, hook cross there. Back with this bullshit inactive high guard. Who in the fuck is still calling landlines in this office? These bitches done lost their motherfucking mind. Who the fuck still calls the goddamn landline in the motherfucking office? Bitch, if you don't send a motherfucking email or some shit over here disrupting, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not gonna edit that bullshit out. That shit's staying in here. I've been in a good rhythm. Some stupid motherfucking collect 800 fucking call number one to interrupt my shit. Stupid bitches. Bitch again? Lon, you lost your motherfucking mind. Let's go. Probe. Half step feint. Disengage. 1, 2. As you can see, when a man can't read the feints, he gets overwhelmed and he breaks his base for you. High hand, stand my ground right here. Stand my ground. My hands are higher than yours. Back into the long guard. Long guard, punch traffic. Half guard, 1, 2. Here he goes again with the stupid ass inactive high guard. Double jab feint, try to go for the 4. He jumped back. Long guard, punch traffic. Circle left, juke back right. Stand my ground right here. Cross guard. Walk left. Jab. Playing around here, giving them different defensive looks. Probe, jab, touching the guard. Pull back from the 1, 2. Jab. 2 half step feints, level change, jab, half step jab, tried to go for a lead hook there, switch the guard again, switch the guard back, switch again, jab up the middle, clean. Probe, soft probe in the middle, disengage, jab up the middle, probe, elbow flip, switch guards, know where you are, switch guard again, probe, disrupt the lead hand, duck underneath, jab, swivel. Now I'm back in center space, jab, hesitated on that rear cross, 1-2-1 just for the intention to make him bag up. Didn't care if that landed. Level change. Deflected that with the high guard. Probe. Switching guards again. Move my head offline out the high guard to get out the way of that 1-2. Jab. Staying in front of him. Probe. Step into him a little bit with the active hands. He's trying to go to the body. Probe. Crosses deflected one another. Playing, change your head slots ever so slightly. Cross catch to get that hook on the opposite side. Slip jab. Lead cross up the middle. Another cross. 1-2. 2-1. Stupid ass. Pull back from that cross. Tried to come back with a cross up top. Probe. Catch and counter jab. Disengagement steps. Tried to go 4-2-1. And that's it, motherfuckers. I lost track of the time. Ain't that about a bitch? Well, motherfuckers, we done clocked in. Now we about to clock right the fuck back out. That actually went quicker than I thought it did because I kind of got in the zone talking about some of the shit I was doing in that one. So I completely lost track of everything. Lost track of the rounds and the time. So that 30 minutes kind of passed like it wasn't shit. I'm going to scroll through some of these other videos and see which one I want to redo next. Like I said, I'm going to go delete some of these old... Choose one, take that footage and repackage it and make something more useful of it, whether it be a narrated sparring, bag work, or whatever the fuck. I just want to make it more presentable for y'all to actually be able to take something digestible from, because if you give a motherfucker raw meat, you can't be surprised they don't eat it and it's left to fester. So I'm going to start cooking some of this shit so it can be edible. So it can be edible to humans. So can't be surprised if you get nothing but animals surrounding it when you have nothing but blood and guts exposed. But yeah, we done, man. Like I said, this public access TV. Ain't no fucking schedule to this bitch. Just turn your antenna to the right fucking switch and we gonna get right the fuck to the thick of it. So I'm gonna go back in my little corner and sequester myself far away from all this shit until you see another one of these motherfuckers pop up. You know where to find me. Bye. Get the fuck on. I'm done talking to y'all. Shit.